Good afternoon and welcome to In Focus with Silvana Pavlovska, broadcasting from Melbourne, Australia. Today we are continuing with our Macedonian question, and in particular the Prespa agreement as cultural genocide of the Macedonian national identity towards the termination of an illegal treaty. A publication by Prof.d-r Igor Janev. And I'm going to now turn our attention to Annex A. Annex A, Constitutional Amendments. Preamble. The citizens of the Republic of Macedonia taking over responsibility for the present and future of their fatherland, it's got here, fatherland or motherland, aware and grateful to their predecessors for their sacrifice and dedication in their endeavors and struggle to create an independent and sovereign state of Macedonia, and responsible to future generations to preserve and develop everything that is valuable from the rich cultural inheritance and coexistence within Macedonia, equal in rights and obligations towards the common good. The Republic of Macedonia, in accordance with the tradition of the Kruševo Republic, and the decisions of the Anti-Fascist People's Liberation Assembly of Macedonia and the referendum of September the 8th, 1991, they have decided to establish the Republic of Macedonia as an independent, sovereign state with the intention of establishing and consolidating rule of law, guaranteeing human rights and civil liberties, providing peace and coexistence, social justice, economic well-being, and prosperity in the life of the individual and the community. And in this regard, through their representatives in the Assembly of the Republic of Macedonia, elected in free and democratic elections, they adopt Article 7.1. The Macedonian language, written using its Cyrillic alphabet, is the official language throughout the Republic of Macedonia and in the international relations of the Republic of Macedonia. Number 2, any other language spoken by at least 20% of the population is also an official language, written using its alphabet as specified below. Hey, here it is. It's in this document, Annex A. Like they said previously in our previous recording, any other language spoken by at least 20% of the population is also an official language, written using. Never before in the history of Macedonia have we seen this kind of event where you've got allegedly a 20% figure that's been concocted of a population. Is also, their language is also official one. Of course, here we are talking about the Albanian language, the Albanian from Albania, using its alphabet as specified below. Number 3, any official personal documents of citizens speaking in an official language other than Macedonian shall also be issued in that language, in addition to the Macedonian language in accordance with the law. 4, any person living in a unit of local self-government in which at least 20% of the population speaks an official language other than Macedonian may use an official language to communicate with the regional office of the central government with responsibility for that municipality. Such an office shall reply in that language in addition to Macedonian. So 2 languages. Any person may use any official language to communicate with the main office of the central government, which shall reply in that language in addition to Macedonian. 5, in the organs of the Republic of Macedonia, any official language other than Macedonian may be used in accordance with the law. 6, in the units of local self-government, where at least 20% of the population speaks a particular language, that language and its alphabet shall be used as an official language in addition to the Macedonian language and the Cyrillic alphabet. With respect to languages spoken by less than 20% of the population of a unit of local government, self-government, self-government. Local self-government, the local authorities shall decide on their use in public bodies. Article 8. 1. The fundamental values of the constitutional order of the Republic of Macedonia are the basic freedoms and rights of the individual and citizen recognized in international law and set down in the Constitution. Equitable representation of persons belonging to all communities in public bodies, at least at all levels and in other areas of public life. Article 19, 1, the freedom of religious confession is guaranteed. 2, the right to express one's faith freely and publicly, individually or with others is guaranteed. 3, the Macedonian Orthodox Church, the Islamic religious community in Macedonia, the Catholic Church and other religious communities and groups are separate from the state and equal before the law. 4, the Macedonian Orthodox Church, the Islamic religious community in Macedonia, the Catholic Church, and the religious communities and groups are free to establish schools and other social and charitable institutions by ways of a procedure regulated by law. Interesting that reference is made to the Macedonian Orthodox Church instead of its proper name. Yeah. So whether they know of the proper name and whether they've incorrectly interpreted or translated the proper name of the Macedonian Orthodox Church, we don't know, but it is interesting to note that. Article 48, 1, members of communities have a right freely to express, foster, and develop their identity and community attributes and to use their community symbols. Yes, the Albanian flag. Number 2, the Republic guarantees the protection of ethnic, cultural, linguistic, and religious identity of all communities. 3, members of communities have the right to establish institutions for culture, art, science, and education, as well as scholarly and other associations for the expression, fostering, and developing of their identity. 4, members of communities have the right to instruction in their language in primary and secondary education, as determined by law. In schools where education is carried out in another language, the Macedonian language is also studied. Oh, thank God for that. Is my commentary. Article 56, 2, the Republic, there's no number 1 there. Article 56, number 1 is missing in this document. Number 2, the Republic guarantees the protection, promotion, and enhancement of the historical and artistic heritage of Macedonia and all communities in Macedonia and the treasures of which it is composed, regardless of their legal status. The law regulates the mode and conditions under which specific items of general interest for the Republic can be ceded for use. Article 69, number 2, there's a missing 1 here in this article as well. So Article 69, 1 is missing. Number 2, for laws that directly affect the culture, use of language, education, personal documentation, and use of symbols, the Assembly makes decisions by a majority vote of the representatives attending, within which there must be a majority of the votes of the representatives attending who claim to belong, to the communities not in the majority in the population of Macedonia. So all you have to do is you claim that you have a different ethnic community, and then you will have your right under this framework. In the event of a dispute within the Assembly regarding the application of this provision, the Committee on Inter-Community Relations shall resolve the dispute. Article 77, number 1, the Assembly elects the Public Attorney by a majority vote of the total number of representatives, within which there must be a majority of the votes of the total number of representatives claiming to belong to the communities not in the majority in the population of Macedonia. 2, the Public Attorney protects the constitutional rights and legal rights of citizens when violated by bodies of state administration and by other bodies and organizations with public mandates. The Public Attorney shall give particular attention to safeguarding the principles of non-discrimination and equitable representation of communities in public bodies at all levels and in other areas of public life. Article 78. 1. The Assembly shall establish a committee of inter-community relations. So many committees. Number 2, the committee consists of 7 members each from the ranks of the Macedonians and Albanians within the Assembly. Wow. Does the country of Albania have also such things where the Macedonians are all equally represented? And yeah, and 5 members from among the Turks, Vlachs, Romanis, and 2 other communities. The 5 members each shall be from a different community. I thought they were all from the Macedonian community, but speaking different languages and maybe different religions, but they're all the same community. It appears not to be. If fewer than 5 other communities are represented in the Assembly, the public attorney, after consultation with relevant community leaders, shall propose the remaining members from outside the Assembly. Number 3, the Assembly elects the members of the committee. 4, the committee considers issues of inter-community relations in the Republic and makes appraisals and proposals for their solution. 5, the Assembly is obliged to take into consideration the appraisals and proposals of the committee and to make decisions regarding them. So obliged means they must. 6, in the event of a dispute among members of the Assembly regarding the application of the voting procedure specified in Article 69, paragraph 2, the committee shall decide by majority vote whether the procedure applies. Article 84, the President of the Republic of Macedonia proposes the members of the Council for Inter-Ethnic Relations. So it's his job to propose the members of the Council for inter-ethnic relations. Inter-ethnic relations. Article 86, 1. The President of the Republic is President of the Security Council of the Republic of Macedonia. 2. The Security Council of the Republic is composed of the President of the Republic, the President of the Assembly, the Prime Minister, the ministers heading the bodies of state administration in the fields of security, defense, and foreign affairs, and 3 members appointed by the President of the Republic. In appointing the 3 members, the President shall ensure that the Security Council as a whole equally reflects the composition of the population of Macedonia. 3. The Council considers issues relating to security and defense of the Republic and makes policy proposals to the Assembly and the government. Article 104, 1. The Republican Judicial Council is composed of 7 members. Republican Judicial Council. Doesn't sound right in English. Are they referring to the Republic of Macedonia Judicial Council? What's this Republican? 2. The Assembly elects the members of the Council. 3 of the members shall be elected by a majority vote of the total number of representatives within which there must be a majority of the votes of the total number of representatives claiming to belong to the communities. There's this word claiming again, claim. One thing is to claim, one thing is to truly belong to an organization or an ethnic group or whatever, not in the majority in the population of Macedonia. Article 109.1, the Constitutional Court of Macedonia is composed of 9 judges. 2, the Assembly elects 6 of the judges to the Constitutional Court by a majority vote of the total number of representatives. The Assembly elects 3 of the judges by a majority vote of the total number of representatives, within which there must be a majority of the votes of the total number of representatives claiming to belong to the communities not in the majority in the population of Macedonia. Article 114, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4 are missing, but there is 5. Local self-government is regulated by a law adopted by 2/3 majority, a vote of the total number of representatives, within which there must be a majority of the votes of the total number of representatives claiming to belong to the communities not in the majority in the population of Macedonia. The laws on local communities, the laws on local finances, I beg your pardon, local elections, boundaries of municipalities and the city of Skopje shall be adopted by a majority vote of the representatives attending, within which there must be a majority of the votes of the representatives attending who claim. Again, we've got this word claim, claiming, yeah. to claim something, or as opposed to be definitely part of something else. It's quite strange. Anybody can make claims, but how do you justify them? So it doesn't seem to be very well considered. Moving on from here, the laws on local finances, local elections, boundaries of municipalities in the city of Skopje shall be adopted by a majority vote of the representatives attending, within which there must be a majority of the vote of the representatives attending who claim to belong to the communities not in the majority in the population of Macedonia. Article 115. 1, in units of local self-government, citizens directly and through representatives participate in decision-making on issues of local relevance, particularly in the fields of public services, urban and rural planning, environmental protection, local economic development, local finances, communal activities, culture, sport, social security, and childcare, education, healthcare, and other fields determined by law. Article 131. 1, the decision to initiate a change in the constitution is made by the assembly by a 2/3 majority vote of the total number of representatives. 2, the draft amendment to the constitution is confirmed by the assembly by a majority vote of the total number of representatives and then submitted to public debate. 3, the decision to change the constitution is made by the assembly by a 2/3 majority vote of the total number of representatives. 4, a decision to amend the preamble, the articles on local self-government, Article 131, any provision relating to the rights of members of communities, including in particular Articles 7, 8, 9, 19, 48, 56, 69, 77, 78, 86, 104, and 109, as well as a decision to add any new provision relating to the subject matter of such provisions and articles, shall require a 2/3 majority vote of the total number of representatives, within which there must be a majority of the votes of the total number of representatives claiming to belong to the communities not in the majority in the population of Macedonia. 5, the change in the constitution is declared by the assembly. And so we end Annex B of this scholarly publication titled The Prespa Agreement as Cultural Genocide of the Macedonian National Identity towards the Termination of an Illegal Treaty, published in 2023. The author is eminent professor, expert on international law, Prof.d-r Igor Janev. What remains to be covered as part of this series on the Macedonian question and the publication by Professor Igor Janev is, according to my information, Annex B of this document. Just checking whilst I'm talking to you, and Annex C as well as references. Now, we may not go through the references. We may go, I don't know, we shall see. But I am hoping that we will be able to achieve this, that is to present to you Annexes B and C in the next recording, which will be the final recording of this series dedicated to this very important, not just one document, actually, there are several documents in there. So we've been looking at the Prespa agreement, the agreement between the Hellenic state and the Republic of Macedonia, the agreement between Bulgaria and Macedonia, and this bilingualism business, that is that the official language other than Macedonian shall be the Albanian language. So it's got 3 components and it's all in here, and we can be grateful to Professor Igor Janev for doing all the research, for providing us with the facts and the truth. These matters are still not finalized. Some people may think they're finalized, but they're not, because we must remember that the Macedonian people, whose country is the Republic of Macedonia, have expressed their dissatisfaction with all of these so-called agreements or framework agreements, whatever name they're given. And we've seen that these agreements have been done in the certainly the Prespa agreement was produced originally in the English language. The Bulgarian-Macedonian agreement was produced in Macedonian. I hope there is a translation into English of that document somewhere, so we can compare and contrast and find out for sure whether it is the same author. My suspicion is that it could be the same author for all these three so-called agreements, whose purpose was to bring peace, not that there was no peace beforehand, whose purpose was to stop Macedonia from any claims on the territory in other neighboring states. There was never ever any threat about that. But all of this related to Macedonia's expressed desire to be admitted as an equal member of the European Union. And what do we see? We've seen something that's really out of this world, because nowhere does our United Nations dictate terms and acknowledge that there is a dispute regarding a name, which was the initial argument by Greece on the name. And then all these additional things are included, really, you know, the whole thing getting out of control, it seems to me. So that was that one. And then you've got the other one, that the Bulgarian-Macedonian agreement, which doesn't differ much from the Prespa agreement or the agreement between Greece and Macedonia. So yeah, and then we've got this business about of another official language in the Republic of Macedonia, namely the Albanian language. Allegedly, they have a 20% representation in the country. And what's that based upon? What are the facts? Is it the rigged elections that they are going by? You know, what is, has anybody done an independent census of the population? So there are a lot of questions, and it's unresolved. It will be resolved. I'm confident that one day soon, hopefully, it will be resolved, and the people's wishes will be respected. The Macedonian, the custodians of the country called Macedonia, the one and only mentioned in the Bible many, many times, no other. So thank you for your attention today. And I'm looking forward to seeing you for the final episode of this very important series. Take care. See you soon.